Good morning, students. Today we will discuss on the multiple encryption and the DES. In the previous lecture, we have discussed on the DES and the AES algorithm. So, first of all, what is the multiple encryptions? Multiple encryption means uh, encryption more than one times. So, in the DS algorithm, we have used some double DS and triple DS, then apply encryption on the more than two times. So first of all, we discuss on the double DS. So why we use the double DS or triple DS? The first, the reason behind this, some weakness of the DS algorithm against brute force attack. We have used some alternative schemes that is called the double DS and the triple DS. Basically, double DS is the simplest form of the DS encryption, where use the two encryption state and the using the two key. In the we have seen the C is equals to E K2 and the E of K1 into P. Means K1 K2 is the key and the P is the plain text, where the encryption apply on the two times. So this is the basic idea of the double DS using the two key. The after simple, there is the double DS and there is the triple DS. Triple DS basically is the two type. One is the triple DS with two key and the triple DS with the three key. In the triple DS with two key using the two key and the triple DS with three key using the three key. In the triple DS is a in the triple DS using the encryption two time of the plain text. And in the with the two key means using the two key. First of all, using encrypt the message K1 and then decrypt the message uh, K2, and after this and again encrypt from the K1. So this is the basic triple DS with two key and the three key message, and the in the three triple DS with three key, and the triple DS three key using the three key used in each level K1, K2, and the K3. So this is basically is the basic idea of the triple DS and the double DS. In the, or we can say that triple DS with two keys popular alternatives to single DS, but suffer from being three times slower to run. The use of encryption and decryption stage are equivalent, but the structure allow for compatibility with single DS implementation, and the 3DS with two keys relatively popular alternative to DS and has been adopted for use in the key management standards. The key in the triple DS with two keys is the 2 to power 112, and the triple DS with three keys is the 2 to power 168. But the triple DS with three key is difficult to implement in practical situations because require the 168 bit 4 key. That is the difficult. uh, so we have used the triple DS with the two keys. So and the this scheme, the triple DS, it reduce the uh, reduce the brute force attack in each level. After this, we have discussed on the modes of operations. Basically, uh, encryption algorithm are divided into two categories based on the uh, input, such as block cipher and the stream cipher. Block cipher basically is an encryption algorithm which takes fixed size of input, say b bits or n bits, and produce a cipher text of b bits again. If input is larger than the BMix, then it can be divided further. For different applications and use, there are several modes of operation for the block cipher. So first of all, we will discuss on the electronic code book. So what is the electronic code book? Electronic code book is the easiest block cipher mode. It is easy because direct encryption of each block of input plain text and output is in form of block of encrypted ciphertext. Generally, if a message is larger than b bits in size, it can be broken into bunch of blocks and the procedure is repeated. The diagram show the process of the electronic code book where uh, P1 is P1, P2, Pn is the block of message that is divided into DWIX, and the encrypt is the using the some encryption algorithms. K is the key which is common for all uh, all portions, and the C1 is the cipher text. So this is the encryption process, and the decryption process just reverse of the encryption. What is some advantage and disadvantage of the ECB? Basically, number one advantage, parallel encryptions of block of bits is possible, so it is faster way to encryption and the simple way of block cipher. And the weakness or disadvantage, because the cryptanalysis uh, is attacked easily because there is direct relationship between the plain text and the cipher text. So this is the disadvantage of ECB. After this, we will discuss on the cipher block chaining. Cipher block chaining or CBC is an advancement of ECB or to reduce the disadvantage of ECB. And the ECB compromise some security requirement in CBC. In previous cipher block in given input to next encryption algorithm, after XOR with original plain text and original in the diagram show the an XOR with the original plain text using the IV. IV is the initialization vector. The initialization vector is the some bogus value or some initialization vector is bogus value or the fake value that is not affect the main message, but it increase the complexity of the message. So XOR the plain text with the initialization vector and then encrypt with the key, and finally reduce the and finally produce the output C1. This is the ciphertext. This ciphertext also work for input as next stage. So this is the uh, in this is the cipher block chaining be, because the output of first stage working as the input of the next stage. So the decryption is just reverse or just opposite of the encryption process. The diagram show the encryption and the decryptions. Some after the some advantage and disadvantage of the CBC. Basically advantage of one is the advantage. CBC works well for input greater than DWIX, and the CBC is good authentication mechanism and the better resistive nature towards cryptanalysis than ECB. The disadvantage means the disadvantage is the parallel encryption is not possible since every encryption requires previous cipher. Uh, Suppose if the C1 is corrupt, then the all remaining ciphertexts are corrupt. So this is the basic disadvantage of the CBC. After this, we have discussed on the cipher feedback. Cipher feedback mode is given given as feedback to the next block of encryption with some new specification. First, an initial vector IV is used to first encrypt, and output bits are divided into set of B minus S bits, the left hand side and S bits, and are selected and are applied an XOR operation with plain text bits. The result given as input to a shift register and the process continue. The encryption and decryption process for the same. The diagram show the uh, process of the cipher feedback where the initialization vector encrypt with the key K1. After this the encrypted message further divided into S bit and the B minus S bits. Then this uh, S bits and the B minus S bits XOR with the plain text P1. This is then produce the ciphertext C1, and this C1 again input as the next register. This is the shift register, and then this process is continue uh, till our complete message is encrypted. So this is in the decryption process. Decryption is just opposite of the encryption process. There are some advantage. There is some data loss due to the use of register. Thus, it is difficult for applying script analysis. So this is the simple CFB mode. CFB is the usually stream mode as long as heap with the input doing encryption every 8 bytes. A possible problem is that if it used over a noisy link, then any corrupted bit will destroy the value in given current and the next block. So either must use over a reliable network transport layer or use OFP. So this is the basically CFB. After CFB, we will discuss the output feedback mode. Basically, output feedback mode follow nearly same process of cipher feedback, except that it sends the encrypted output as feedback instead of the actual cipher, which is XOR output. In this output feedback mode, all bits of the blocks are sent instead of sending selected S bits. The output feedback mode of block cipher holds great resistance towards bit transmission error. It also decreases dependency or relationship of cipher or plain text. This is the simple output feedback mode diagram. This is the uh, uh, similar to the cipher feedback. The basic difference is there. In the cipher feedback, the output of the ciphertext work as the input of the next phase, where in the output feedback mode, the encrypted the initialization vector encrypt with the algorithm, and then this initialization encrypted form is used for input for the next next phase. So this is basically output feedback mode. The some advantage of the output feedback mode. First is the output feedback mode is that bit error in transmission do not propagate, and the disadvantage uh, OFB is that more vulnerable to a message stream modification attack in CFB. Basically, OFB is a Burnham cipher variant. The stream should never be used more than once, and all sender and receiver needs to remain in sync or all data is lost. Also, research has shown that you should only ever use a full block feedback, that is OFB 64 or 128 weeks. So this is the output feedback mode. After this, the last mode is the counter mode. Uh, the counter mode basically is the simple counter based on the block cipher implementation. Every time a counter initiated value is encrypted and given as input to the XOR with plain text, which result in ciphertext, and the counter mode is independent of feedback used, so can be implemented in the parallel. So this is similar to the ECB mode, electronic counter mode, but but in here we use the counter, and suppose start with the counter 0, the next counter is the counter 1, counter 2, and the uh, size of the it depend on the size of the message. So this is the simple counter mode. The counter mode has a number of advantages in parallel hardware and software efficiency. Can pre-process the output value in advance of needing to encrypt, and can get random access to encrypt data block. And it's simple, but like OSB have issue of not reusing the same key or counter value. So basically, this is some block cipher modes and block cipher mode operations. And after the stream cipher we will discuss on previous lecture what is the stream cipher and the block cipher. uh, in the stream cipher, process message bit by bit and they have pseudo random key stream, and they were combined with the plain text bit by bit, and but must never use the stream key. In the some properties of the stream cipher, uh, first of all, the encryption sequence should have two large period. The longer the period of repeat, the more difficult it will be to the cryptanalysis. Number two, the key stream should appropriate the properties of pure random number stream as close as possible. The more random appearing the key stream is, the more randomized the ciphertext, making cryptanalysis more difficult. And the last, to guard the against brute force attacks, the key needs to be sufficiently long. The same configurations apply for block cipher are valid here. So with current technology, a key length of at least 128 bits is desirable. So this is the basic idea of block cipher and the stream cipher and the multiple encryptions with the DS schemes. Thanks everyone.